Yeah. Okay, good morning, everyone. Good early Sunday morning to the Jacobin public, and welcome to MexElects and our coverage of the Mexican presidential election. We are here in the delegation of Iztapalapa, which is a working-class barrio here in Mexico City, one of the most densely populated districts in Mexico City. 1 million people alone live in this district, and we've been told that the way Iztapalapa votes is kind of the tipping point, how the city tends to go in elections. So as you see behind us, the line is already down the parking lot here for the Mexican presidential election. Inside, this is going to be, when we pan back, you'll see that this is going to be one of the larger precincts in Iztapalapa because, as I said, the population density is so large. So we have 4 different precincts are set up inside. The way this works is the National Electoral Institute puts the names of willing people, theoretically, puts the names of willing people in a bag. The names are pulled out at random, and this is a citizen-run election.
Right.
So there is an INE personnel person here, but it's the citizens who are setting up the precincts, setting up the balloting areas. The people are lined up. They'll have to show their electoral credential. Here you have to vote with an electoral credential. They'll get a series of ballots because this is a very busy electoral day in Mexico. There's president, there's mayor of Mexico City, which also looks to be won by the Morena party, López Obrador's party, in the person of Claudia Sheinbaum, who would be the first female mayor of Mexico City in the history of the second most populous city in the world. There's also elections for local delegates, so they'll get a bunch of different ballots that they'll have to mark and put in. We've been told, as we've arrived here, that there's this worry, as we talked about yesterday, of potential fraud. People get kind of a ticket, right, from these kind of safe houses around here. They take a ballot, they take a picture of their ballot with their ticket, and they go out and get paid for it. So there's an electoral observer team inside, and one of their tasks is to kind of try to be attentive to any kind of attempt to see people go in, take pictures of ballots, and come out and get some kind of payment for it. Colin, how are things looking here early in the morning at our first precinct visit?
Well, I mean, it is early. It's just after 8 o'clock. The precinct's supposed to open at 8 sharp, but they're a little bit delayed because they're still setting up the voting booths. But the line is getting longer and longer as we stand around here. And yeah, I mean, it looks like people are eager to vote and have organized themselves to do so.
Yeah. It's worth mentioning that this Iztapalapa delegation, this up until fairly recently was not a populated part of the city.
Right.
This is kind of a volcanic area. The land is very soft,
right.
And so it was amongst the areas harder hit by the earthquake
we saw some
of September 19th.
Yeah.
Really, there are cracks in the area. The fault runs through here. Kind of the land kind of goes like this.
Yeah.
And if you check some of our MexElects videos, there are still people living in tents in certain parts of this delegation. So being a poorer working class area, it's more susceptible, of course, to the use of social programs, to coerce votes. We're hoping that that's not going to happen today. And so we're going to head back inside now where we can't film, but we'll be back with you in a little bit, where we're happy to see that people are arriving and the line is growing, so if this is any indication, it's not a scientific sample. It's really good weather today. There should be a high turnout. We'll be back in a little bit once things are set up and the voting actually starts.